Yeah, thank you, Acting Speaker. Like many members in this place, one of the great things about being a local Member of Parliament is getting around and visiting the local schools, getting to know the students, the teachers, the principals and all those people who make these places not just a community within our community, but a really important hub for us to go in to speak with the leaders at the schools, but also the students at the schools. And I'm really happy with the way students feel really free to just come up and tell me about what's happening at their schools, whether that's down the street or if they send me through an email. And the beginning of this year, I received a few emails from some students at Tatachilla Lutheran College, which is an outstanding school in the McLaren Vale area, where hundreds and hundreds of students from across the Flurio attend a school each day. And I just want to read out one of those emails, or a part of it there. Hi, Mr. Bignell. My name is Stella. I am 10, and I've met you lots of times at Willunga Netball Club, and that's true, Stella. I started at Tatachilla Lutheran College this year, and it's really hard for me to get there from Willunga, and the bus is really expensive. You should come to my school at 3:20 and see all the cars and lots of kids. It's a bit scary. So I did go to the school, and there were lots and lots of cars. And it followed up with another email just that same week from Alani, who said that last Wednesday was my first day at Tatachilla Lutheran College, and I really enjoyed it. My dad dropped me off and picked me up on that day, and I doubt that he's ever going to do that again in his life. When he was picking me up, it took us about 20 minutes to drive that 300-metre driveway down to the road because of the amount of traffic. How ridiculous. If you don't believe me, I invite you to come and have a look for yourself. It's a lot of cars polluting the environment. So, again, I was out there having a look, and these kids are making a lot of sense. And I like this line from Alani, where she says, Mr. Bignell, have you ever heard of teacup children? And I've got to admit, I hadn't heard of teacup children. See, you always learn from, doesn't matter how old you are or how young your teachers are sometimes, you can always learn. So, no, I hadn't heard of the teacup children, so I'll let the House know what it's all about. In Alani's word, teacup kids are the children who have been brought up relying 100% on their parents to do everything for them. They don't get opportunities to get out and learn about life. From a Tatachilla parent's perspective, I can definitely see why they wouldn't want their kids walking or riding to and from school, because one, there aren't any good paths to ride or walk on near the school, and two, it's practically in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's not really in the middle of nowhere, but I guess when you don't have a means of transport, it is. It's about 2.4 kilometres from McLaren Vale, and it's a bit further from Willunga. But I guess what Alani's saying is it's not on a bus route. So Alani goes on, I don't want to become a teacup kid, but I want to be an independent, environmentally friendly, responsible teenager able to get around by bus. So I wrote to the Transport Minister, Mr. Knoll, and asked whether the public bus could be diverted, just one in the morning, one in the afternoon at school drop-off and pick-up times to sort of make sure that these students can get there. The response back was, no, you can't. In short, which is interesting because before the last election, the Liberal Party said that they were going to introduce bus services for regional students at non-government schools around the state. And they said that students at non-government schools in the regions should have the same access to bus services as students at metropolitan non-government schools. So it's interesting because McLaren Vale is one of those areas, thanks to some legislation that we brought through a decade ago. It's covered by an agricultural preserve, so it is regional, but as the crow flies, it's about 45 kilometres from the CBD, so it's often considered metro at the same time. But either way you look at this, Tatachilla Lutheran College should have a bus service that is provided by the government, because they've said on one hand that they want regional schools to have the same services as city schools have. So it's either a city school or regional school, it doesn't matter. If they're going to give the same service to both schools, then Tatachilla Lutheran College should have that. There's also a need for a bike path from McLaren Vale out to Tatachilla Lutheran College as well. And again, I wrote to the Transport Minister, and again, the Minister said no. And the children at Tatachilla Lutheran College and young adults are very upset. But I'll keep fighting for that bus service at Tatachilla Lutheran College and for that bike and walking path.